Bring it back.
Hello everybody and welcome to some X-Plane 11. Today we're going to be flying the Boeing 737 Ultimate, and we're in beautiful Kansas City International out in Kansas City, Missouri, and we're going to be flying down to Dallas Love Field down to Dallas, Texas. As you can see, it's a little cloudy out today, but that ain't going to keep us from getting out there and getting up in the air. Let's go ahead and get in the cockpit. Alright, as you can see, everything's already got started up, APU's on, and all we got to do now is we get the passengers loaded up and we got to get pushed back and taxi out to the runway. First off, what we're going to do, I'm going to go over the FMC a little bit, kind of show you where we're going. So we're here at MCI, KMCI, Kansas City International. Our first VOR we're going to be hitting is MCI, then we're going to be heading to Sprint, DOSOA, High Tug, S-Slid, Rubber, Chicken, Venue, Repay, Cuban, Finger, Slant, Hybel, Wades, Nate, and then we're going to be getting down and landing on runway 13 left. Here at Kansas City International, we're going to be taking off from runway 19 right. And we'll go ahead and get ready for pushback. Go ahead and get started back up on the checklist here. Alright, so we got to turn on our flight directors. Then keep our auto throttle off. Our indicated airspeed is 156. That's not what is on that's the V2. So our V2 is 141, but for our indicated airspeed, it's going to be 156 for takeoff. Our cruising altitude is going to be 36,000 feet, flight level 360. And we're going to reset our fuel flow and get it back. Our minimum is going to be on the radios, already set. Landing gears confirmed down. Speed brake lever is retracted. Thrust levers are closed. Engine start levers are on cutoff. And we're going to turn on our yaw damper. And our passengers are boarded. So now we are going to get ready for pushback. Alright, so our System B electric hydraulic pump we're going to turn on. We're going to turn on our fuel pumps. Turn on our anti-collision light. Turn our position light on steady. Let's go ahead and take a look right like this. And then we're going to go ahead and arm our auto throttle. And now we're ready for pushback. So we're going to look over here at our tablet. We're going to go ahead and request pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Alrighty, tow driving up. Once the tow gets up here, we'll switch over and we'll take a look at the tow view.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Alright, back up in the
Tow
cockpit.
connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, and release parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn off our packs real quick. We'll make sure our engine start is on both. Yep, there we go. So we're going to turn it on both. And then we'll go ahead and turn on engine number 2. Let that bounce up to about 25%. So it's 25%. We'll move our cutoff switches up to idle. And there we go. Now engine 2 should be starting up. We'll wait right now for the start switch to move back over to ground, and then we'll go ahead and turn engine start number 1 over to ground. We'll get that one started up. And again, just like engine 2, we're going to wait till
Operation
the
complete. Set parking brake.
the N1 hits at 25%. Then we'll move the cutoff switch up to idle. And there we go. We'll go ahead and set our parking brake down so that
Connecting tow. Stand by.
the tow cab can unhook. Alright, so that's set. Alright, so we'll go up to System A, electric hydraulic pump. We'll turn that on. We'll move our battery meter over to Gen 1. Oh, gotta move the other way. Alright, so we're looking good. We'll go ahead and disconnect and have him go. We'll turn on our probe heats. And we'll turn on our window heats as well, along with the engine and the wing anti-ice.
Is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be
Turn
on the
our
right.
packs
We'll
back
see
over to
you
auto.
next time, and have a great flight.
I appreciate it. Will do. Go ahead and turn off our APU bleed and turn off our APU. And turn on our generators. Alright, so looks like that's looking pretty good. Alright, so our engine start checklist is complete. Now we'll move over to taxi. So for takeoff, we're going to set our flaps down to 5 degrees. We'll take a look at these as these start moving down. Alright, and those are set. Alright, flaps are good. Taxi lights, we'll go ahead and flip those on. And the runway turn off lights, since it's not dark out, we won't turn those on. There's no need for them. So we'll go ahead and do a systems check. Make sure our flight controls are good. Turn to the left, moving. Turn to the right, moving. Elevator up, elevator down, rudder right, and rudder left. Alright, looks like everything's good. Everything's working, and we will start our taxi. Alright, and like you can see above, we've got a plane coming in on the final approach. Looks like going to be landing here on the runway. Hopefully by the time we get up and lined up, they'll be on the runway and getting off, so we'll be good to take off. Alright, just talk a little bit about the plugins I use. So right now, as you can see, the plane that's coming in, that is being run off of live traffic. Live traffic, it's actually pretty good. I actually like it. There are some little perks to it, or some, I should say, quirks. Let's see if this plane will actually do it, and I can kind of give you the reason why I kind of enjoy it. Yep, so it's going to do it. So as you can see, it's going to be landing a little short of the runway. Yep, just a little short, as you can see. That's one of the bad things I do not like about it. But, of course, it puts planes out there for us so we can be able to see. We'll go ahead and move on out and get lined up. Then once he gets off the runway, we'll go ahead and take off. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights. It's kind of lined up here on center line. Alright. So we're lined up. We'll go ahead and do before takeoff. RTO, runway turn off lights off. Strobe and ready. Alright. TCAS, TRNA. Move that all the way over. Heading bug, runway, good. Headings 192. VNAV, LNAV. Turn that on. And then we will turn that blank. Alright. Now we are set. Yep, so we're clear. Let's take off here. Once you get to 40%, we'll get toga and toga. And that's another thing right up there, as you can see with live traffic, planes just appear out of nowhere on takeoff.
80 knots.
80 knots.
V1,
V1, rotate. Pull back a little bit. And let's go.
Positive rate.
Positive rate. Landing gear up.
400.
400. We'll go ahead and put up our flaps all the way. And we'll get lined up here. 1000. So we'll go ahead and turn on the autopilot. We'll be good to go here. Alright, so autopilot is on. That is starting up. We'll go ahead and move this back over to that. Traffic is on. Weather will turn on. We'll turn terrain on over there. So we hit the clouds. Go ahead and turn off taxi lights so during takeoff and climb. Go ahead and turn off our auto brake. Engine start switches back on to auto. And then once we hit above 10,000 feet, we'll go ahead and turn off our landing lights. Yeah, alright, now we hit 10,000 feet. So I'll go ahead and move up our landing lights. Go and let the attendants know that we've passed 10,000 feet. They're able to go ahead and go out and make sure the passengers are all good. And now we'll wait till we hit up to our transitional altitude of 18,000 feet. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting up to 18,000 feet. Once we hit that 18,000 feet mark, we're going to go ahead and set our altimeter to standard. And like that, we'll hit it. And there we go. Now we're at standard, no longer the altimeter that was down in Kansas City International. So now we are in the process of waiting till we get up to our cruise altitude. Alrighty, welcome back everybody. We're getting close to our cruising altitude of 36,000 feet, or flight level 360. Once we get up here, we'll go ahead and let our passengers know on the back that we are we're leveling off. We'll go ahead and let them know now. Alrighty, so the passengers know. And now we are going to be going about 117, 156, or not 156, but 117 and then 56. So we're going to be going for about 170 miles until we start our descent. So until then, I hope you guys enjoy the view. Sit back, relax, and I'll be back once we start our descent. Alrighty, welcome back everybody. And we're getting we're about 5 miles away from our descent. We'll go ahead and let the passengers know back in the back. We'll go ahead and alright, so we'll give them a little bit to get back, and then we'll start our descent down. Alright, let's go ahead and start it. And we'll go ahead and arm our speed brakes here. It's not wanting to go down for some reason, so we'll go ahead and just force it down. And I'm not sure why it's not wanting to go down for me, so I'm going to go ahead and just do it manually here. Alright, so we're just now passing rubber, heading down to chicken. Right now what we're wanting to do is get down to 24,000 feet, because once we get down to venue, it's got a flight restriction of 30,000 to 24,000. And there is so another plugin that I use is Active Sky X-Plane 11. That is a payware, but as you can see, as all the clouds disappeared, it was updating the weather system of where we're our current location. Try to get down to 280 here. Let's go ahead and go ahead and turn on the speed brakes here so we can slow it down. We want to get down to about 280 knots. So I think we're going to be good on here. So I'm going to go ahead and move it down to what we need to get down to is about 9,000. What we'll go ahead and do is we'll flip our engine start switches over to Cont. We've got our fasten seatbelt lights on, and we'll take a look and see what the weather is like there in Dallas Love. Alright, so it looks like the altimeter is going to be 2985. So we'll go ahead and get that set up. 2985, good to go. Take a look out the window here. See how it's looking. Looking pretty good out there. Just a little cloudy, but nothing that's going to slow us down or prevent us from landing, at least. Alright, getting down to the transitional altitude here. Oh, looks like we're speeding up a little bit, but should be slowing down. There we go, now we're slowing back down. And past the transitional, so we'll go ahead and pop it onto the KDAL, the Dallas Love altimeter. Still wanting to stay down to the .280 once we just allow the plane to do that. I think we'll just go ahead and let the plane do it on its own, because right now it's having a hard time here. Take a look on the outside over here. Yep, so it's up. It's trying to slow us down. So we're hitting repay right now. And we're getting down to go ahead and level up a little bit more here. Just go up to about 1,400 feet per minute. We're starting to move down pretty quick, so slow it down just a little bit here. Alright, once we hit Cuban here, we'll go ahead and move down to about 250 knots. Alright, let's go ahead and move down to 250. And we're going to hit about 10,000 feet. Then we're going to turn on our landing lights. That way any planes in and around the area will be able to see us. That is straight ahead. So we'll go ahead and turn those on now. Alright, so those are turned on.
1,000 to go.
Got about 1,000 feet to go till we hit 9,000. I'm going to sit at that for about 13 miles. Go ahead and turn on weather here. We'll turn terrain on over there. See how that looks. Alright, so we're hitting 9,000 feet at 250 knots. So we're doing pretty good. And now what we want to do is move down to 2,500, which is the maximum altitude for the approach. And we'll stay at this level up until we hit slant. Once we hit slant, then we'll start moving down to 2,500. Oh, actually, what we're going to do, we're going to move down to 240. Hitting a little turbulence here. Go ahead and let the passengers know back there in the back. Let them know. They shouldn't be getting up anyway since we're on the descent. But just in case anybody gets a little froggy back there in the back. Alright, now we've started our descent. We may have started it pretty early, but much rather be early than late. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set our course frequencies and all that, our ILS. So we'll take a look here. So for our airport database, Dallas Love, we're looking at we'll be landing on 13 left, so our heading is going to be 135 degrees. So we'll move down here to 135. Hit this course to 135. Go ahead and set our heading to 135 as well. Move that. Alright, good to go. Alright, so our loc and all that is all done. Our VCART approach speed reference, that's all set. Our baro, so we need to be on baros on this one. our flaps. So once we get down to the speed necessary, we'll get our spaps. What am I saying here? Our flaps set up. Our speed brake's already armed. Auto brake. We'll go ahead and set that on to 2. Landing gear once we get lined up, and our lights are on right now.
1,000 to go.
So I think what we'll do is we'll stop at 3,500 and just cruise along at 3,500 up until we get closer. We still got about Got about 14 miles left. Go ahead and drop down to about 220 knots. So it looks like we're going to be right over there. Looks like that's the runway right out there. Go ahead and get down there to 2,500.
1,000 to go.
Alright, 1,000 feet left to go. Alright, and then once we hit Wade and we get on our final approach, we'll hit the VR loc and approach. And we'll go ahead and drop down to about Yep, there it is back there. Looks like right here we're at, looks like right here's the Dallas Fort Worth airport right here. Yep, traffic's off to our right. I see it over there. Traffic in sight. Alright, thank you. Then we should be doing a turn around. Yeah, we're good, we're good. Thank you. Appreciate you letting me know. I'm going to be a tight turn right here.
$1,000 to go.
We'll go ahead and drop down to about 150 knots. Oh, we'll actually go down to what it's saying, 149. Wait till we get lined up here, then we'll hit the approach, lock onto the approach. Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me know. So it looks like we got a plane over here right in front of us. Go ahead and drop the landing gear here. take a look down here, see where we need to be at. Go ahead and drop down to 10 here. Alright, appreciate it. And should hit glide slope now. Alright, so we hit the glide slope. We're on the single channel. And here we go. We'll do an autopilot little landing here. We'll go ahead and drop down to 143 here.
Thousand feet stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Alright, appreciate it, sir. Gonna drop down to 136. Go ahead and set our that up. Alright, so we're looking good here.
500.
Go ahead and drop it all the way down to
400.
the last bit here.
300. 200. 100.
Alright, I'll go ahead and take controls from here.
50, 40, 30, 10.
Kind of a little off center on the landing, but
80 knots.
80 knots, appreciate it. Alright, so we'll get off here at the very end of the runway. We'll go ahead and turn on the taxi lights here and turn off the and then what we'll do is ahead and turn on the APU. Alright, just gotta head to Terminal 1 now. Alright, here we go. Alright, and here we are. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and we are at Dallas Love Field, Dallas, Texas. We'll go ahead and set the park and brake. We've got the APU generator on, so we'll go ahead and shut down here. Turn that off. Turn off the pumps. And there you have it. And that is the Boeing 737 Ultimate made by Zebo. I hope you guys enjoyed. And as usual, hit the like button up at the top, let your friends know. And we will see you all on the next flight.